Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, hump day. Thanks for tuning in. Coffee Crew rolling in the live stream. It's been a quick week, actually. It's been kind of nice. Work's been busy and rolling through here. I was racing again this morning to get the coffee brewed, and and get onto this stream. So good to have you here. As everybody rolls in, I just want to say a little housekeeping as well. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for watching. Don't forget hit the like button on the stream. Helps out the channel. If you want to catch us live, as the people that are watching live know, we go live Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock to about 8:45, and talk about TFSAs or investing, the market, lots of AI we've been talking about lately, just kind of whatever's on anybody's mind. And if you're new to watching the live stream, welcome. Don't be afraid to say hi. A good group of investors here. All of us pretty much Canadian, I think, and we'll try and answer your questions and steer you in the right direction. Haven't steered. I don't think we've steered anybody wrong yet. I don't think so. Let's see who's here. Candice, always first. Candice, good to have you here. Hopefully your day is doing well. I see as a quick look on the I'm trying not to look at the market so much, like always, like first thing. Like I don't want it to be the first thing I look at of the day. It's really hard though. But hopefully you're having a bit of a green day on there. It looks okay. But again, as we know with everything, what the heck is happening in the world, that could change. That could have already changed by the time I got on the stream, or it could change by this afternoon. So slow and steady wins the race. But Candice has her coffee and donut, which is awesome. Let's do your joke. Let's get the joke out of the way so I don't forget, Candice. The Chat GPT-4 joke of the day is, let's go here. What is a frog's favorite stock market strategy? Lily padding their portfolio by catching the best investments with their tongue, one fly-by-night opportunity at a time. That's kind of fitting with slow and steady investing. There you go. So maybe I'm a bit of a frog investor. I don't know. Also, there's that. What's the saying with the frog though that you don't? Maybe there's a few that I should have got out of, because it's like that. What's that frog saying? You're in a pot of boiling water or that you're in a pot of water that you don't know is going to boil. That's that could be maybe put on maybe a couple of my positions, but it is what it is. I love those Chat GPT jokes. And let us see. Vic is here. Good to have you, Vic. There we go. Feeling all right. Always good. Haven't seen you for a little while, Vic. Hopefully you are well. Keeping busy. And Stan, good to have you here. Always good for tuning in. Hopefully your day is going well so far. Coffee is hot. And MC, bright and early. Good to have you here. Awesome. Always good. MC, sorry, I didn't get to that chance to watch that documentary yesterday. Just with everything, just kind of busy. And when I got around to have some time, I'm still addicted to that F1 series. That silly F1 series. I'll watch that, but I'll watch that documentary. I got to be in the mood for a documentary. The F1 is kind of more escape. You don't have to pay too much attention to it. And Sean, good morning. Always good. Always good. Good to have you here. Hopefully you're well. And Candace, on the channel poll, I have to vote on that still, Candace, too. I'll have to see. I was asking about the mesh ones. I'll have to see what's on there. I haven't been on the YouTube much either. But that being said, as everybody kind of knows, yesterday that we're watching, I was trying to figure out how to purchase. Candace was kind enough, Candace channel member, which is awesome. I think I noticed a new color on there too, Candace. I think you get an extra color when the month changes, and you're still a member, which is awesome. Thank you. And Candace had gifted a channel membership yesterday, and I tried to do it. I couldn't do it, but I'm going to do it, and we'll do that right now. So bear with me. I think I figured this out finally, and I got my correct credit card number. That would obviously help. So I will try and get some. I'm going to try and get a gift membership in here for somebody. Hopefully, it's somebody that's watching. That can do this. So let's see here. Let's do one. Okay. That should work. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Let's see who wins. There we go. I'm not sure who gets this yet. I think it gets announced in a little bit. I don't know. It hasn't shown me yet. But anyways, there we go. Someone hopefully gets a gifted. I think you can claim it. I'm not sure how that works. I'm really not sure how that works. MC. MC. I haven't started F1 quite good. Yeah. So if so you do follow it. I'm not into F1 at all, but I could see myself going now. But yeah, depending on what the races are different in Europe, it's a very good series. I think I don't know if you have Netflix. I always assume everybody has a Netflix, but it is pretty good. And I was talking to a coworker yesterday saying as well, and not I don't know if you're into golf. But there's also the golf. The golf one is supposed to be fairly good too. The F1 gets you kind of kind of sucked in to the drama a little bit of it too, and it's all the behind the scenes stuff is pretty fast, is kind of fascinating, and so much. I mean, the amount of money that gets spent on those from sponsors and just everything is pretty crazy. And yeah, interesting. And so there's a tennis one too, Breakpoint, very good. Same producers, okay, and the golf, yeah. So there is a golf, yeah, the golf one. Someone I know who said the golf one was pretty good as well. I used to play a lot of golf, but kind of got kind of out of it, out of golf. Got rid of all my stuff and discovered I was spending too much time and too much money and too much frustration with golf. Got pretty good though, but yeah, I don't know who won it. I don't know if you have to claim it, Candace. Maybe there's nobody here that can accept it. I did a bit of reading on it. I think it depends on how you have your account set up. But there we go. It's out there for the grabs. Maybe someone will get it. Maybe it gifted it to somebody that wasn't on the stream or something like that. I do not know. It's in limbo. Someone will find it. I do not know. As we come through. Good luck to whoever that was. There we go. If someone claims it, I think we'll get notified. All good. To the new channel members. On that note, channel, I will get a video update posted. Probably today or tomorrow. I think I'll have some time. I think I will have some time today to do a channel kind of a portfolio update. Pretty happy with how things are kind of going. I've been really. Oh, there we go. MC, congratulations. There we go. You got it. Good. Awesome. Good to have it somebody that's I think in the stream, because I don't know if it always gives it to somebody. I think it's the subscribers that can kind of get it randomly. So you won. It just was delayed a little bit. There we go. Congratulations. MC, there's a few couple of channel videos up there, and then when I post my weekday portfolio update, I'll usually kick that out a day ahead. For people that are channel members, you can kind of catch it first, and then I don't have also to save you the ads. I have on the channel videos that get posted ahead of time for members. I turn the ads off, so hopefully Google doesn't put them on there. That I can control them, turn them off and on. But you'll get those as well. So there's a few up there, and there's also the community post. So I do share all my buys and sells and all that kind of stuff over on the community tab. There we go. No merch yet. There's maybe I should get mugs or something. Maybe I should get mugs. It's funny. I used to do MC for, speaking of swag. I used to do a live stream. This is so long ago. And we were kind of ahead of our time a little bit. I did a live stream with 3 other people in the mortgage industry, and we did like a weekly hangout at the time. Google had this thing called Google Hangouts, where I think they still do have it. It was almost like Zoom, where you could do, but you could post it. It would go live, and you could do it live too, much like we're doing now. But it would allow you to have guests and that kind of stuff. And we would have a weekly kind of conversation in the mortgage. It was more for industry, internal industry. So we had a lot of mortgage industry people that would join the stream and come on. But we also made mugs. We had a hashtag for it and stuff for Twitter and the whole 9 yards. And we actually had a website at the time, and we did mugs up, and anybody that came on the show got a mug. And we'd also send the mugs out if people asked for them to different things. So everybody was posting their pictures of them drinking their coffee mugs on social media and stuff. So it really kind of helped the channel. But we were too far ahead of our time. I keep saying that. My really good friend Rob, he's in the mortgage industry. He's been on the stream. We always talk about it. We're like, well, we were about 5 years. If we were doing it now, we would have been great. But back in the day, we were just a little too ahead of our time. And I don't think we stuck with it quite long enough with the traction. But now with the way social media is going and everything else, it would have been. And podcasts are popular now, that kind of stuff. So side note on live streaming. So this live stream stuff is not totally new to me. We had some good conversation. Yeah, I'll have to get some, maybe one day when we get some merch. I don't think anybody's going to be, I think YouTube lets you set up a store, but I don't know how many people are going to be getting mugs. I need a few more I think a few thousand more subscribers to make it work in my favor. I think if I'm spending money on, I think instead of mugs, I'd be better off spending the money on putting it in a ETF. Not to say it's fun to hand this stuff out. Oh, so your work, yeah, that's the thing. It ends up being a lot of junk. And you go to like these so you saw your fundraising t-shirts and stuff like that. Well, that's the thing. Funny you say thing with mugs. Like you have to order like a certain number of them, right? And I think it was, I mean, I want to say it was like probably 100 of them, and they weren't that expensive. They ended up being not even a couple bucks each, for a regular cheap coffee mug. But I had a whole bunch of them still because I would send them send them out. And then when I moved, our show had stopped, and I had all these mugs, and I'm thinking like I can only drink out of one coffee mug at a time, and must have had 20 or 30 left. So I actually ended up donating, same like you say, I donated them off. So someone out there has their mug, their mortgage TV mug kind of thing. But it was fun. Yeah, but there is lots of that junk. You go to trade shows and stuff. You'd always get those lanyards, and you end up just hucking them out at the end of the time. A lot of kind of wasted money. I think I don't know. It's been so long since I've been to a trade show. I found them all kind of getting kind of annoying as well. Yeah, for certain things. Yeah, I saw one with like shirts and stuff like that. Like I've seen that where T-shirts get sent over to these African countries, and they literally get bundled up, and they're like a commodity almost getting shipped over there for certain things, because a lot of the places here don't want them. They get either, I guess they get so many of them they can't obviously possibly sell them in any period of time. And then they like literally bundle them all up in pallets, right? And just kind of send them over there, and they sell them and ship them by the weight almost, I think is how it works out. Yeah, pretty interesting. Lots of stuff that goes into landfills. Speaking of landfills, and I don't know if I guess this might be a kind of a half decent thing, because it is kind of annoying, because I've got an entire drawer full of cords. I was reading through as fun would have it, I downloaded the PDF of the budget from yesterday, just to kind of scroll through and see what jumped out at me. And it was a lot of stuff that we kind of knew was coming anyways, right? But I found one in there about I mean, they're kind of big into what's the green transition and everything else. It seems to be a big topic of it. But there was a section in there about possibly moving forward with, I think the UK did it, is making a standardized phone charger. I don't know if that necessarily had to go in the budget. It is, but I guess the point of it is every time you get a new phone, you have to end up buying a new charger. But and so they want to standardize them to something that is across the board. That being said, I think the cell phone manufacturers now are kind of getting above that, going like, well, we keep doing this. If you're up, like Apple doesn't, I don't think they even give you a cord anymore for your phone. So kind of, I guess that's their kind of idea, is get stuff out of the landfill. I know their connector is obviously different. I don't have an Apple phone, but I know from my keyboard and stuff on my computer, it all uses that Apple Lightning connector, which if you don't have the cord, you have to buy one on your phone. So that's one thing. Landfills filling up. We need to start recycling more, I guess, on there. So yeah. Other than that, I remember I did read there was a big push. Let's pull this up actually, since we are talking about the budget, and let's hope my screen share works, because when I wasn't when I was going live here, it wasn't quite going. Let's see. There we go. So it does work. And the last so the last one I had, I don't think this is a Samsung. I don't even know what it is. S20. I don't even know. It sounds how much I'm into tech. I don't even know my phone. MC. It it came with a charger and a cord. It's USB 3 or C or whatever the one is. Whatever the one is that looks like it's the same size on both ends. The round kind of ovally one. Uh, Dating myself, sounding old now without knowing. I used to know all this stuff, but it came with a cord and a charger, but it didn't come with headphones. And it actually doesn't even have a it doesn't actually have a headphone port, which was super annoying because I probably wouldn't have got it because I don't like Bluetooth headphones because I've had them, I'll lose them, I forget to charge them. So I had to buy I have corded headphones which I like to use, and if I'm watching like YouTube or something on my phone, I go and use my old phone that I have so I can plug in headphones. So this silly phone, I remember when I got it, I almost sent it back because I thought, what's the point? Can't even plug in my headphones. But I think they're all like that now, so it's kind of like whatever. Uh, and UK and Brazil, they're forced to send a charging thing with a phone. Yeah, it's kind of funny, all these silly rules with people and tech and everything else. With all these different rules in countries, I guess it would probably make sense from a manufacturing standpoint to standardize something. Maybe across the board, but Apple. I mean, the thing, not to pick on Apple, is they have their Lightning connector, and it's the same for the keyboard and the mouse and their ecosystem. So I mean, what do you expect, right? But if anybody has an Apple phone, I don't think I don't think they even come with a charge cord anymore, as far as I know. But anyways, so back to budget. Uh, big parts of the federal budget were obviously the green transition. It would be interesting if they kind of, I think, broke it down more, and what the, it's kind of vague in regards, but it's kind of basically to match, trying to keep up in the heels of the United States with their Inflation Reduction Act. So Canada's pushing for, let's see, it was quite a bit of money actually. 20 billion investments in Canada's electrical infrastructure, because I guess they're figuring out now they don't have enough infrastructure to actually what we actually need in the country. The green thing that they really need to do. We talked about it before. Is there needs to be I think a lot more nuclear power in Canada. I think it's the only way we're going to do it with any type of end game. I think it's it'll be interesting. So lots in the budget with green. I'm still that's kind of my long-term investment, as people kind of know, with some of my investing is looking at more green energy. Now that being said, I do have oil as part of my ETF, but I have invested, and we'll still continue investing in renewable companies as well, because I think in the next it's going to be a long-term thing, but I think we'll get there eventually. So obviously not any kind of financial advice for people, but it's just something to maybe that I think is kind of good to look into. And you use wireless? Yeah, I used to have a wireless charger too, hooked up to my desk too as well, Candace. But I found that I have a case on my phone, and it didn't charge as well. I think it's just the case is pretty, because I buy the most heavy duty case I can find, because I inevitably drop my phone. When I had my last phone, I literally dropped it, I think like 2 weeks after I got it, and I didn't have a case yet. So I put the biggest, heaviest, like most ridiculous case on my phone. It like doubles the size of it, but it keeps it safe. But a lot of times the chargers just don't work. So I just have to plug it in. And my car doesn't have a charger as well. A lot of the newer cars have the wireless chargers you can just plug it onto. But those things are handy as well. Yeah, they are kind of handy to do that. Thankfully, at least everything's kind of the same cords. Like my camera and stuff is now USB 3 or C or whatever they call it, the latest USB-C. So all the cords are kind of the same. I can plug in my camera with USB, the same cord as my phone. So you just kind of have to plug and unplug. It's not the end of the world for that. So there we go. Let's see. 1 second here. I'm gonna do what was kind of fun is I'm gonna do another. It's membership day. I'm gonna do another. Now that I know it works, I'll fire up another. I'll fire up another a membership. See who can win here. There we go. Let's see who. Let's see if someone else is on the. There we go, on the live stream. You can check that out. I don't know if it'll give. It would be good if it gave it. It could give it to people that are already members to extend it. But anyways, I don't think it can. There we go. Another one. Let's see who wins that one. If someone's here. Yeah. Maybe Vic. Maybe Vic will get it. I don't know, Vic, if you're still watching. Might have had to go back. Might have had to go back to work. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. So what's new, everybody? What are you kind of watching today? Candace, we get to hear what your. There we go. Vic, did he win? Oh no, he didn't win. Okay, maybe Vic. We'll see. I think it takes a while to pop up and show, or they have to claim it. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. So I guess kind of what's moving forward. There's a couple things I noticed on Wealthsimple. They keep getting these emails for. There was one now where they are having set up. I don't know if anybody's tried this yet. Someone I think commented on my channel about it. Is how to send e-transfers. You could always kind of send e-transfers from the cash part. But I got a thing in the mail yesterday about they give you your kind of an email to receive e-transfers with, which is kind of cool. Has anybody sent an e-transfer from Wealthsimple yet? I tried to do one a long time ago and it kind of got hung up. But that being said, I was trying to send it to ShakePay, so maybe there was some kind of weird thing with them not liking ShakePay for some reason. But I got it canceled and it worked out. But I haven't used it lately, so we've got new addresses, so people will be able to basically email. And if you receive, it works well, because if you're receiving a e-transfer, you don't have to have a password, all that kind of stuff. It will automatically kind of go in. It seems like they're really expanding that Cash App. They have done some changes, which I think is kind of streamlining a little bit. And they seem to be working all of their products into that one app, for better or worse. I'm kind of not a fan. I did like the Invest app for the stuff that's managed, because it kept it separate and kind of I don't want to say out of sight, out of mind, but it was like something that, because it's on autopilot, you're just not looking at it as much. Whereas if I'm going into the main app, you kind of see your investments a lot. So I don't know if that's good or bad sometimes, but they're canceling off the Invest app, I think, at the end of this month. But I got that email about the e-transfers, that kind of stuff. And I know you can also do. Payroll direct deposits as well, and they pay. I think MC brought that up, and I did some digging on that one yesterday as well, because you can do a deposit, like a direct deposit from your pay, and you get, I think it's 3% interest, and if you have over $100,000, you get 4% interest on your cash account, which is pretty good for just a cash savings account. So there's maybe I don't know. I don't have my payroll and stuff switched over there, but might be something to kind of look at, other than getting it. If you're getting your payroll deposited into a regular, usually like a regular checking account, you're not making any interest, at least in the short term, until you start to move it all around or what you want to do with it. But it's yeah, so it'll be interesting. Did you get another one, Candace? I got Candace. Did you get it? Oh, maybe you did. Maybe not. It didn't post up to say who won yet, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of what happened at MC. Yeah, sorry, you did mention just as the stream was ending, and I caught that. And thanks for bringing it up again. Perfect. Because I was like, oh, we'll talk about that tomorrow, and of course, my mind forgets. And so awesome for bringing that up for that. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the thing with YouTube, the thing with YouTube is obviously hot topics get the clicks, right? And if it's if people on YouTube, there still is quite a few of us there. I mean, Candace has her channel. There's I can think of a bunch of them. I'm subscribed to a lot of them. There's new ones starting, which is awesome. And it's but they go to, you'll go to where the clicks come, and that's kind of what I'm not wanting to do on this channel by any means. It's a goal that I put in place for me, so it's as much selfish for me, I think, to kind of keep me, use it to keep me accountable going forward with the goal that I've put down. Will I be invested with my shares and stuff in Wealthsimple all the time? Maybe not. I might switch it to another, transfer them over to something else for whatever reason. But for me, it works. I'm basically invested in self-directed TFSA Canadian stocks. It doesn't cost me anything to trade, buys or sells, so it works for me. It's not the platform's not perfect. The app is good, but again, there's different things. And the robo advisor is good. I mean, we've talked about it before though, but I wouldn't say it's like super exciting, right? But that's what I think what investing kind of should be. It should be kind of boring, and it works well. The robo advisor works well for me for my RSP, because I kind of let it do its thing, and I think it will probably do a better job at what, if I can't, you can withdraw from your RSP, but the plan is obviously not to withdraw it so I don't get taxed. I find it does a better job as managing that for the longer term. So whereas my TFSA obviously is for retirement, but I think it can also give me some, by doing it self-directed as well, because I think you can learn more. You learn from your mistakes, mind you, but you can learn more, which I think helps you on the flip side, even the robo-advisor side, in terms of making sure that that's where you want to be, and where you do have some control of your allotments on there in terms of what you're invested in and your risk tolerances, that kind of stuff. So it can work, but again, robo-advisor is just not like, it's not clickbait excitement, right? But morning, Dan. Good to have you here. There's a channel membership out there for somebody. Maybe you can grab it, Dan. I don't know how if it's come through, if who's got it yet. It hasn't been announced, so it might be there to kind of claim, I think, somehow. I think that's part of it. Oh, you were talking about your email. It's all random. It must base it off your regular email, because mine came through as the front part of my Gmail. So I'm kind of happy with it. Worked out on there. So there was probably and so you got your first one. So you got Candace. You must be the first. There we go. Okay, so it worked out. It worked out in your favor. Yeah. I think mine used. Actually, no. To think about it, I think it used my. I think it uses your. What's the one where you can send cash? Like, remember they had the Cash App? I think it uses that name, your Cash App name. That's what I think it did. So they have to go where there's revenue and profitability is. I don't think the robo-advisor path worked exactly as the hype once foreshadowed. It might be a multi-generation. Yeah, it's a long-term thing, but that's how they marketed it too, right at the beginning. Like, I think they started getting it, like, they kind of did, like, investing is slow and steady, and they still do that. They still, like, on the invest side, they still do the articles that they post, and if you read their blog, on that portion of it, they really do go into the slow, steady approach, and even how they lay it out, what the forecasts are for your account. I don't know if you have the odd stuff on the invest side, but like it kind of breaks down, like it lets you know like what their estimates are if you keep up with those deposits that you're doing. If you put in a lump sum payment, it'll give you a kind of an estimate of where it thinks your balance will be when you're 65. So it really pushes it kind of shows the timeline up to 65, and that's where it kind of sits. But again, yeah, I mean they make their fees on it, but again, how much can you? It really depends on the book of business they have too, right? And I don't know. I read somewhere that I think the average, I don't know what the average account holder is in Wealthsimple. I would assume there's probably a lot of account holders that have probably very small balances. So again, it's like it's a long-term thing, right? But you can see how they're kind of pulling everything in together to try and be one app, to try and, again, it looks like cross-selling and that kind of stuff, to try and eventually make money. And I mean, and they are diversifying. It seems a little bit with some of the stuff they're getting on the robo investment side with some more of those alternative investments. Obviously, I'm invested in the venture capital fund. I found that interesting. That one is rolling right now. They do have the one that's coming up. We talked about it. MC, I think you scooped this one. Was the private capital one? I think is starting next month. On there, but I think some of these products, they're going after more of their higher. I think, well, especially I think the private capital one. I think the minimum investment into that is $10,000. But you also need to have. I think you have to have. I think you have to be up in a higher deposit already. So they're going after certain things. And trying to maybe expand their demographic a bit. Yeah, when it first came out, it looked like like financial planners and stuff were doomed, but it didn't. I think, and that's that. Yeah. So if you have like younger people, I'll read the rest of your comment because I think the young people like robo, but their balances are tiny, so the profits aren't great. That comes with the problem too, right? Because everybody's into like instant status. Look at the last couple years with with the meme stocks and all that kind of stuff, and I mean and crypto and Bitcoin and like a lot of things, people want like quicker, faster. It's the patience is definitely it's a virtue with investing, and that's one big thing I've learned. I think to be patient is one of the best suggestions I can have, because you always want things to move faster, right? You're looking at stuff and you're tempted to move things and adjust things too much and get in your own way. And I think that's where the robo advisor can be a benefit. But because I have both, because I have like I said, people know I have my RSP in there, and I have my Lira in there in the robo advisor stuff, and they're doing fine. I mean, they're doing better than my TFSA. So this goes to show, keeping hands off things, and letting sometimes, the computer and AI and their fund, like their professionals, manage things. Works out better in the long run. But one thing I have noticed as well, it's again with patience, it's the consistency of it, right? Because in my TFSA, what I've really noticed, it's self-directed, but as I've been consistently purchasing the same ETF tech, basically big chunk is the ETFs that I want to buy. You start to get into you do it weekly, and then the dollar cost averaging really helps, and it works in that. On the flip side, with the invest side, I do an RRSP deposit every 2 weeks. I have it kind of set up with paydays, and just comes off, and it's been doing fine. For better or worse, I don't have a lot of bonds are terrible. The last, basically, as we know, the last couple. So it does have some bond exposure, which hasn't done well, but in general, it's done okay. So Wealthsimple Invest keeps taking money out of your account every month. I wanted to see how it works now, and I can't stop the auto withdrawal. There's a way you can stop it, Candice. There's a way. I've moved mine around, but hey, if you can still afford it, I mean, at the end of the, if you can afford it and it's going somewhere, it's still going into an investment. So sometimes, I mean, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I've adjusted mine. I've stopped it. It works well. You know what else works really well, Candice? I've had to do a couple times, is if you go onto their actual website. I think you can do it on the app too. Is do the chat with the support chat, and then they're usually really fast. I haven't had a problem, anyways. You just log in, tell them your problem. It'll usually direct you to it'll sometimes direct you to a help article that will tell you how to do it. But there you go. Yeah, but again, hey, if going every month, you might do okay. Set it and forget it. I think that's the key, not to check these things all the time. Uh, yeah, lots of comments coming in there. And Dan, oh, did Dan? Oh, no, Stan got it. Oh, awesome. So Stan, there we go. Congratulations, Stan. There you go. We'll do this. We'll keep doing that every once in a while. Those are kind of fun. Get them out. There you go. So thank you. Got it. So you have a few videos on there for you, Stan, all that kind of stuff. Good to have support. You support me. I can help. I don't know how that works. I can buy your membership for the month, and then it ends up. Well, I think I get it back. Obviously, some of it back. So it's like a win-win. Uh, so not a yeah. Oh, build the book slowly. Yeah, it'll take a while. Yeah. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, MC, with the personal finance influencers. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I can go in and do my portfolio update videos, but it's like, okay, well, this week I bought the same exact thing, But I think that's good to share as well. If because it kind of, I think, will hopefully show people that there's you don't have to chase the latest and greatest all the time to hopefully work, come out ahead in the end. Um, uh, and but it is, on the flip side, it is kind of fun to some ways try new things with, obviously, with money that you can afford to lose. Man, I did the video on Solana staking. I mean, I bought like one. So it's fun to try other things and different things with investing. I mean, there's obviously, I mean, that's the unfortunate thing with social media and stuff, is these exciting new things get the clicks, and the drama gets clicks and all that kind of stuff. But for the long term, I think if people can view this channel and go, okay, well, I'm not doing so bad, or if you're comparing it, that's great. If you're not, if you're saying, okay, well, this looks similar to mine, I'm not alone. This is how other people, and this is why these live streams are great, because it's like you can get other people in there going like, okay, well, this is, you just how you get everybody's feelings, right? Um, but it can be, I guess, for views and clicks, is always maybe not as great. If every video kind of comes out going like the same. I added one share of VDY this week, and the rest went into uh, BEP, and then the other went into the S&P. Yeah, it's not super exciting, but I think in the long term it's good. It'll show slow and steady. Investing should be boring. Keep saying that. I should maybe change the channel name to investing should be boring. I think someone has that, actually. Yeah, we'll have to see with that one. They do. I mean, they do a good job. I haven't seen as many. I don't see as many ads for them as much anymore. I do. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I do see some stuff. Their big thing is, I think it seems to be right now, is uh, bringing over, like, transferring investments, for other places. I think they're still. I see that on Instagram, and I think I see it on Twitter too. Is they pay you, they'll give you money, right? Depends on your balance that you're bringing over into their robo advisor side, and they'll pay you cash towards it if you bring over so much. My transfer was pretty seamless. It took a, it took a, about, I want to say, probably a couple. It was probably a couple weeks by the time it actually got from start to finish on there. That was kind of before I even had the channel, or I would have kind of documented it. But I had another investor account. It has to liquidate that, and then it transfers it over in cash, and then gets into your Wealthsimple account, and then they slowly purchase ETFs with it, and it was about 2 weeks start to finish. Pretty painless process, actually. Kind of worked, and they kind of keep you updated along the way. It worked out well. You had an email going like, hey, there's forms you have to sign and that kind of stuff, but it's like, oh, hey, we received it. You see the process, right? Which they do pretty well. And that might be the thing that might actually get acquired, right? is there something to Calgary? Yeah, something like boring, be boring and make money or something. That's actually a good, if that's the slogan, be boring, make money or something with a question mark. Actually, is handy. It's true. It is can be kind of boring. I mean, let's pick on Zach, right? I mean, he hasn't been on for a bit, so I won't pick on him too much. But XEQT, that's all he buys, and he has a goal. You can still have your goals, right? You can what some people might kind of see as kind of boring, but you have your goal is exciting. I think of trying to meet that goal every week of buying, 10, say it's 10, and he just like execute. That's all that, and probably in the long run will do quite well, So there's nothing wrong with being boring, but it's also fun to try and, you know, buy different things just for the sake of it. But the problem too comes with managing it all, right? Like I couldn't imagine. I don't think I want to add anything. I mean, say never, but I've got enough to kind of in my portfolio. I think to kind of to manage, I guess would be, if anything, I'd probably want to pare back some maybe eventually, but it's it seems to be doing okay. That's the thing. I think it's have to stick with the slow and steady investing, and we'll go from there. So yeah. All right. Well, I can't believe this has gone so quickly. Always an awesome conversation. It's already basically quarter to nine. I have a ton of work today to do too, so I do have to kind of take off at quarter to. It's been a lot of fun. I love where these conversations go. It's kind of it's so good to kind of get everybody's opinion on different things, and just learn from everybody. I do really appreciate it, that everybody kind of that is joining Coffee Crew, that takes Coffee Crew, and new channel members, which is awesome. Joining, can see some things. So, like I say, if anybody has any questions, leave them in the comments. Always appreciated. We'll get back to you. And there we go. Yeah, so 92% of the portfolio is XEQT, VEQT. Super boring. Uh, but not completely great for accelerating growth. Um, it goes both ways, right? Yeah, exactly. It goes both ways. Uh, I've been looking at XEQT as well, MC, in my TFSA, just to get a bit of. I mean, there's going to be overlap. That's the one thing. Like there would be overlap with the uh, VFV. But I think if I get it to a certain, I think what I'll look at is getting it to a certain. I do need to get in my portfolio some in my TFSA some exposure of outside of basically North America, and I think maybe execute is the way to do it while still continuing to invest in in the S&P as well. So I'm probably, as I think Zach says, come to the dark side. But I think that's probably going to be a transition I'll slowly eventually do. I wouldn't sell VFA. I'd kind of just probably hang on to it, but then just kind of keep building onto the XEQT. That's kind of the direction I am possibly going into. There is also the one, and I can't remember. There is a version as well that does have some bond exposure that might be kind of good to have in there. I haven't decided yet, but probably XEQT. Yeah. But like you said, super boring. Um, yeah, is that the one? XAW, is that the world excluding Canada? That's right. Because I do like VDY. Dividends are nice coming through there. It seems to be kind of doing okay for me. So it's kind of like, why change what's not, why change what's not, why fix what isn't broken, I guess. Um, XAW. You know what I'm gonna do just before we go. Thanks for that. I'm gonna put that on the. I'm gonna put that on the thing here. Let's put it on. Oh, let's put it under boring, and I'll take a look at that today. XAW. World including Canada. Okay, I have looked at this one. Yeah. It's the Canadian dollar one. I guess it's yeah, hedged. Let's put that into there. Awesome. This is why I thanks so much. XAW. There we go. That is why I do these live streams, to learn. It's selfish on my own part. So there we go. Um, Thanks, MC. Really appreciate it. I'll take a look at that. Do have obviously lots to more to read as always. And it's yeah, I'm happy to. I mean, there's a couple of videos for people that if you want to learn more. And again, channel members always appreciate it. Just joining on MC and all the new ones today. It was MC and it was Stan that got the membership. So there you go. There's a couple. There's a couple of videos on for channel members on there right now. You can go watch those after the live stream. That's all, everybody. I do have to get to work. I can kind of. It's hard when these go on like this, and we start getting going. But I do have to actually get to work today. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Do really appreciate it. I will post again tomorrow's live stream, so you can set that reminder to come on. And thanks to Coffee Crew. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you all in the